Hi, and thank you for coming to my channel. Today we're gonna make homemade quesadillas, but we're gonna make our tortillas homemade. So our quesadillas are gonna be made from scratch. So what we're gonna use is we're gonna use any salsa that you want. I have red salsa that I made, and I have a video of how to make salsas if you want to look for one of them, or if you already know, you're good. So salsa, and we're gonna use queso Oaxaca, which is melting cheese that we use. So we're gonna shred the cheese. So we're gonna use this shredder, and we're gonna shred our cheese. And then to make our tortillas, we're gonna use 2.5 cups of maseca. So we're gonna put it and mix it here. And then we're gonna use 1/2 cup of all-purpose flour to mix it with our maseca. And then we're gonna use 1 teaspoon of salt. And I'm using sea salt. And then we're using 1.5 cups of water. So we're gonna start mixing it. So we're gonna mix our flour with our salt, and then with our flour, the maseca. Mix it all together. Give it a good mix. Let's see. Let's start mixing. And then we're gonna start adding our water so we can make our tortillas for our quesadilla. Okay, so now we're gonna start adding our water. So I'm adding 1/2 cup, and this is warm water. So I put half hot water and half cold water. So it's kind of like warm water. Not super boiling hot because you're gonna put your fingers in the masa, but it's warm water. So see, the masa's gonna tell you need more water. You already know when you're mixing it. So we're gonna add more warm water. So we still need more water. So this is already 1 cup of water that we added to our masa. And it still looks like it's gonna need more water. So we already have another cup on the side. So I'm only gonna put half of a cup of water because we wanna use exactly the measurement so you could know. So we're adding so the total we have added in water, it's 1.5 cups of warm water. And it looks like that's gonna be good enough. So we're gonna give it a good mix to our masa. And then I put 3 cups of oil in one of my pans, and that's where we're gonna cook our quesadillas. So let's see. So it looks like we need a little bit more water. So we already used 1.5 cups, so now we're gonna use 1/3 of water. So it looks like in total we use 1 cup and 3/4 of water. So that's the exact measurement. 1 cup of water and 1/3 cup. We still have some masa on the bottom that's kind of loose. So it looks like we're gonna need a little bit more water. See, there's water, there's loose masa on the bottom, you see? So we're gonna add more water. So in total we're using 3 cups of masa. because we use 2.5 cups of maseca and one half cup of all-purpose flour. So in total is three cups of masa in total. So because we added more water, I think we need a little bit more water. So in total, water, it's 2 cups of water. 2 cups of water for 3 cups of masa. And the water was warm water. Yep, that looks like that was exactly the measurement. And our masa starting to feel good. It's not dry, it's not super wet. I think it's good. So that's the only thing we need to do is give it a little bit of elbow grease to mix it around. And it looks like it'll be good to go. So what we want to do when we make our little tortillas for our quesadillas, I have a masa press or a dough press, the one we use in Mexico to do our tortillas. If you don't have one, you could just use 2 plates, one on top of the other one, and then you could press down on the tortilla. So see, we're gonna get this masa. We're good to go. We're gonna start making our quesadillas. So this is a tortilla maker. They sell them at the Mexican stores if you're ever interested in buying one. Like I said, you don't need to buy one if you don't want to. You could use just 2 plates and bring it down and use your force of your hand. So we're gonna put the masa, tortilla masa in the middle. And then we're gonna let it, we're gonna squeeze it so we can make the flat tortilla. So I cut a Ziploc bag and I'm using it so it won't get stuck to the tortilla maker. So see, here we go. We have our, I think I put a little bit too much masa because it's coming a little bit out of the, so there we go. We're gonna make a quesadilla out of this. I squeezed too much on the edges, so we're gonna just add it again to the edges. You could always just fix whatever masa you have. So we're gonna fill it up with cheese, and then we're gonna start making our quesadillas. We're gonna shred our cheese. So here's our cheese. We already shredded our cheese, and now we have we made a quesadilla. So a tortilla. So we're gonna fill it up with cheese. So we're just gonna put cheese on the side of it, and then we're gonna fold it over to make our quesadilla. So then you fold it over. So see, there you go. There you have your quesadilla. And now we're gonna remove it from the, and then I put parchment paper there. So now we're gonna start making our quesadillas with our homemade tortillas. So here we go. So we're gonna put the masa, squeeze down to make our tortilla. Oopsie, I pulled it too hard. And now that I put we made the tortilla, now we're gonna put the cheese inside of it. I think I'm adding a little too much cheese. And there you go. You don't want to put too much cheese on the edges because you don't want it to come out and then start burning in the oil. So then we're gonna close our quesadilla. So we flip it over and then we squeeze down like if you were closing the quesadilla down. And there you go, another quesadilla's made. These are gonna be delicious. So while we started making our quesadillas, I'm warming up our oil. So now we're gonna make another quesadilla. So we make the tortilla and then stuff it with cheese. But our cast iron is already turned on, and we're warming up our oil. So we use 3 cups of oil. And as soon as it's ready, we're gonna start to cook our quesadillas. So we're gonna make another tortilla. So I'm gonna try not to make them so big, so if they have too much masa, they don't cook correctly. When you try to make them small, not big and thick, because you want it to cook correctly when it's in the oil. So we're squeezing down any excess. So it doesn't matter if they're not super round, because you're making a quesadilla. So to me, this is perfectly fine. So we're gonna put the cheese inside. Not too much cheese. And then we're gonna fold it over. And then our quesadillas are already closed from the edges, so the cheese won't come out when it's cooking. And now we're gonna take it out of the plastic bag. And here we go, another quesadilla. So now we have 3 quesadillas made. So we're gonna keep on going. I'm gonna make another one. So I'm gonna make a little round with masa, make it a little round ball. And then once you make a round ball, you put it in the middle. You can squeeze it down if you want. And then make sure the edge of your bag is on the edge of the tortilla maker, and you squeeze down gently. And you can see when the tortillas already it comes out a little bit. So there we go. We have another tortilla. So we're gonna make our quesadilla. Put cheese in it. You could stuff them with anything you want. You could stuff them with cheese. You could stuff them with chicken, shredded chicken. You could stuff them with beef, any kind of beef you want. People even stuff them with vegetables. Whatever stuffing you want to add into your quesadilla, you're good to go. But to me today, I'm making just simple ones. I'm gonna just this is a classic quesadilla, homemade quesadilla, and I'm making the homemade tortillas because they taste so much better. So see, here we have we already made 5 quesadillas, so we're gonna keep on going. To check if my oil's ready, I'm gonna throw a little piece of masa in there and see the reaction. So see how it started cooking and it went to the top? So that means to me that it's almost ready. Still have another about 3 minutes to go, because that's what you want when you put it in when you put your quesadilla in there. You want it to start cooking immediately because your oil's hot. If your oil's not hot, your quesadilla is going to absorb all the oil and it's going to not taste good. It's going to be so oily. So you want your oil to be super hot and ready. And as you can tell, the masa that I put in there already got nice and crispy. So I think we're almost ready to go. I'm going to give it another 2 minutes and then we're going to start. So here we go. We're going to put our first quesadilla in there. So I'm going to make sure all the edges are nice and pressed down so the cheese won't come out. And now we're going to put our first quesadilla in here. Ooh, it's nice and hot. And I think our oil was nice and perfect. Ready. It was ready to cook. So there you go. Now we're going to add our second quesadilla. Beautiful. We don't want them to stick together. So it looks like the first quesadilla we put in there is ready to flip. So I'm going to flip it over. Try not to make a hole on it. Ooh, beautiful. See how nice and toasty it is? They're going to be delicious. Then once we take them out, we put them to drain the excess oil, and then we eat them once they're cooled down. Looks delicious. And this is my homemade quesadillas. It's an easy recipe. It's not that hard to make. Let me give it another half a minute. And this one. So see this one? It's good to go. It looks like it's almost ready to get out. So I'm gonna flip this one over. I'm gonna give the other one a little bit more time. So yeah, it takes about 2 minutes on each side, and your quesadillas are cooking. Cause that's the most important thing. Your oil has to be hot. If your oil's not hot, they're gonna burn from not hot enough. They're not gonna cook from the inside well, and they're gonna be raw from the inside. So just make sure that you check your oil, like I did. You saw me put a piece of masa in there. And there you go. We have our homemade quesadillas. And I think this one's ready to get out. I'm gonna take the excess oil out. See how nice and crispy it is from both sides? Beautiful. And make sure to always have a plate with a napkin so you can put them to grab all the excess oil. And this one we're gonna give it another minute. Let's see how it's looking. Yeah, it needs a little bit more time. So here we go, we're gonna add another one. And there you go. So we're cooking our quesadillas. They're gonna be nice and delicious. Look how they're looking. They're looking nice and beautiful. And that's how you want them. You want them nice and crispy like that. So you see here how it gets a little bit bulgy right here because of the cheese that's in there. You just want to add a little bit of oil in there so it won't air it up, and then it's gonna split in the middle. So it looks like this one's already ready to go, so we're gonna take it out. See, it's nice and crispy from both sides, and you want to drop some of that excess oil. And this one we have to flip it over because it's starting to get a little lumpy right there. We don't want it to split in the middle, so we're gonna flip it over. There you go. And we're gonna add another one. Let's see. So we're gonna add oil on top of it. Just slowly put the oil on top of it. There you go. We're almost done. We already made 6, and that's 8, 9, 10. So in total, our recipe will make 10 quesadillas. So here we have our 10 quesadillas that we just made. So we managed to make 10 quesadillas. So see, here's our salsa and here's our quesadillas. So to try them, you could just open one up. See, they're nice and crispy, and the cheese is in there. So see, we're gonna open it up. Throw some salsa in there. And now we're gonna taste it. Mmm. Delicious. And this is my homemade recipe for homemade quesadillas. And they're delicious. I got it and it's so hot. I had to get a napkin and a plate. You see the cheese? And the tortilla's nice and crispy from the outside. It's delicious. And add some more salsa. And try it. I can't stop eating it. And this is my recipe of homemade quesadillas made from scratch. Hope you like my recipe. Don't forget to like or subscribe. And once again, thank you for coming to my channel. I really appreciate it. Thank you.